Hello team, how's it going, and welcome back to a new video. I hope you're all well. We are in the final week of being in the British Army. Okay, I'm still officially until May, but it's my final week in work. I've got a lot of resettlement to take, resettlement leave, so we're in our final week, pretty much closing down everything, getting signatures, kit is handed back, we are good to go. But let's get into today's video. But before we do that, I just want to welcome Matthew to the channel memberships and the team. Thank you very much for joining. If you'd like to support the channel, join the Discord. You can join for just 99p per month through the join button below. So go and click that now. Just make sure you subscribe, support the channel, we really appreciate it. Make sure you click the subscription button, give us a thumbs up because it really helps the video. But let's get into it. Today we're going to be talking about leaving the army, processes I've gone through so far, but why you should start to prepare to leave the army as soon as you join. Whether you're doing the minimum 4 years, you're doing 22 years, 24 years, 35 years, 12 years, 16 years, whatever it is, you should be preparing to leave the army as soon as you join. Unless you genuinely want to go through all the way to your 55, then you need to prepare as soon as you join. And even then it's not guaranteed because you'd have to go through to the LE board, etc, etc. But the army's not going to be there for you forever, okay? They do help out. You do receive an incredibly good pension, one of the best ones out there. Even though it has changed to the 2015 scheme, it's nowhere near as good as the 05 and definitely nowhere near as good as a 75. You're not going to get as a big lump sum. You'll get a very good lump sum that's very close to it when you're 40 or when you retire after 22, and you're not going to get that big chunk of money each month when you retire on the new scheme, but you're still going to get an incredibly good pension. But you've got to career change at some point. You know, you can't stay in the army right up until retirement age, so this is why you need to prepare as soon as you join. First of all, just sort out sort of like life sort of systems and stuff. The problem with the army is we just get told you've got free medical, you've got free dental, you've got all this money, it's disposable income, don't worry, you get a lump sum when you retire, and we all just spend all our money within the first week, or the first weekend, millionaire weekend, if you get paid on a Friday, Sunday, go to work on Monday, and your money's gone. You haven't saved anything, you've got nothing to show for it apart from a really bad hangover and a half decent weekend. Alright, first just sort yourself out financially, learn about financial goals and how to save. There's so many new accounts out there as well that are out there. I wish I sort of knew about these when I was younger. They sort of weren't there when I joined the army. But you can set up a private pension. You can't take your military pension, your full military pension, until retirement age. And that could be for some of you in the 70s when you're older. Me, I'm thinking about retiring at 55 now, or at least working as little as possible when I get to 55. So I've set up a private pension. You can do that as soon as you're born. As soon as you've got a birth certificate, you can set up a private pension. And you get tax relief on it. So if you're a 20% tax rate payer, so your basic rate tax rate payer, you put £200 into your private pension every month. The government are going to give you £50 back in tax relief because that's your tax income that you're putting in. So you're saving £250 into a pension. That gets invested. Say on average you make 6 to 8% per year on that. That's a big compound effect. By the time you're 55, 60, you could easily have 7 figures in there. Definitely well over 6 figures, but you could easily have 7 figures in there with the compound effect. Then you've got things like ISAs. They're literally tax bubbles. You don't get taxed on it. So I've set up a stocks and shares ISA. Do this when you're 18. You could put £50 in a month, £100 a month, whatever you want to put in there, okay, and invest it. Okay, it's going to go up and down. You will lose money at times, but just either speak to a financial advisor. Just to let you know, I'm not one, this is my personal opinion. Speak to a financial advisor, or just go onto the stocks and shares account and you can see sort of like which ones are high risk, low risk. Put your monies in different pots or whatever you want to do. Look on YouTube, they can help. And then you can invest that compound, make around 4 to 8%, maybe 6% on that per year. You can put up to 20 grand per year in there. And whatever money you make on that, you're not going to get taxed at all. So it's another way you can save. You've then got lifetime ISAs, so these are great for buying houses. You can put away up to 4 grand per year. This goes towards your tax allowance, your ISA allowance. and the government will give you 25% back up to £1,000. So every year you can make £1,000 for doing nothing. You should put £4,000 into a lifetime ISA, or a LISA as they call it, even though it's about Lisa, and the government will give you £1,000. And as long as you don't withdraw that early, so I think it's before you're 60, or if you withdraw it for your first purchase of a house, you won't get a penalty, so you get to keep that money. So over 20 years you can make 20 grand off the government if you wanted to, just for putting £4,000 away. So just don't spend all your money. Set yourself up. Purchase a house while you're still in. You know, I wasted my money. So many people do. You know, majority of people I meet in the army, they just waste their money. It's like, cool, I've got guaranteed income, I'll deal with it later in the future. No, set yourself up now so you haven't got to worry about when you're older. Next is sort out resettlement courses. I remember when I signed off years ago, 6 years ago I think it was, and I had a massive panic. I thought I knew what I wanted to do, and I didn't. Okay, I just literally, my first part of the career, I did enjoy it, but I didn't think about leaving. But you need to. You're going to career change at some point. The army does give you sort of skills, and they do give you like civilian qualifications, which are quite good, some of them. But is it really what you want to do when you leave? You know, you're going up against other people when you go for job interviews when you leave who have these qualifications, and they've also got experience within that job role. So you've then got to sell yourself to the company, the individual, and say, look, I've got these qualifications, but I'm better than the other person. But that's not always what you want to do. You might be in the infantry, and you might want to go into engineering when you leave. You might just want to be a soldier, be in the infantry, but when you want to leave, you want to do engineering. So in your spare time, do sort of engineering qualifications on the weekends, or leave in the evening when you're bored in the block. Do a course as soon as you join. You get £175 standard learning credits from the British Army to spend on courses. I've only ever used them once. Absolutely insane in 15 years the amount of money I've lost out on. The course sort of do have to benefit the army, but you can sort of, they're a lot more lenient now. As long as you word it right, you can pretty much get most courses done. You just have to contribute a minimum of 20%. So if it's less than £175, you contribute 20%, and then they will put the rest. If it's over £175, say over £200, you will pay your 20% and you'll get the full £175. So that's how that works. Go and check it out. Speak to your education centre. Everyone who joins the army, as soon as you sign up, you're entitled to £175 per tax year, April to April. So make sure you go and use them. You've then got enhanced learning credits, which are available to you after 6 years. It's £1,000, 3 lots of £1,000 per tax year from 6 to 8 years, and then after 8 years that jumps to £2,000. That's £6,000 you have available to you for courses. Once again, sort of need to help to benefit the wider army while you're still serving if you're not in resettlement phase. But if you pick a course and word it correctly, you will be able to get it done. They're really good. You can even use them up to 3 years after leaving the services as well, which is really useful. Many companies are signed up to it. If there's a course that you want to do and they're not signed up to ALCAS, speak to the company and they can sign up. It's relatively easy. They just get an ALCAS number, they get put on the website, and then you get the funding. Once again, you just need to contribute a minimum of 20%. So just be aware of that. If a course is only £500 and you put an ALCAS claim in, you're going to lose that other £1,500. So see if they can bundle courses together for you. But yeah, it shouldn't be so tough leaving the army, but it is. You sort of you go in this bubble. And personally, I don't think they help you enough. Financial sort of education should be taught in school. It should be taught when you first join the army, instead of just being told you've got all this disposable income, don't worry about it. Don't worry about buying a house, you get this big lump sum when you leave the army. Buy a house when you're in the army. Please, buy it when you're young. You've got secure income, so banks love it. You've got a secure job, okay? So you can just show them your P60s, your 3 months worth of bank pay slips. You can go to a bank. Okay, it's hard when you first join, your pay's not as much, but you can go there. You're secure. You're very unlikely going to get turned down for a mortgage unless you've got really poor credit history, because you've got the security. Compared to someone who's self-employed or in a role where there's high redundancy rates. You know, that doesn't really happen in the army. Yes, it's happened before, but it doesn't really happen. So purchase a house when you're young instead of waiting. If you don't want to live in it, rent it out and get someone to pay your mortgage for you. You know, why we get told when we first join the army, it happened to me so many times, don't worry, you've got all this disposable income, just spend it, blah blah blah, this, don't worry about a pension, the army give you a pension. Yeah, that's when you retire, and if you only do 8 years in the army, your pension's half decent, but it's not amazing. So start paying into a private pension, even if you're only putting £25 a month into a private pension. Once again, you get 20% tax relief back as well on that. So that's £30 you're saving. You know, they're going to invest that for you, and then over time it's going to, you know, compound and grow. Leaving the army after so many years, it's hard. If you're only doing 4 years or you joined later, then it's not so hard. But when you're like me, you join at 16, it's scary. It really is. And people, you know, they're not really honest about it. It really is scary. People struggle massively, and you shouldn't really, because it is just another job. You're just going from one job to another. It's the same sort of life, but we just get wrapped up in this bubble of traveling for free, private dental, private medical and stuff. So just make sure you're prepared when you first join. You know, don't think, oh, I'm going to leave the army in 4 years, but go, oh, I'm going to do 22 years, but along the way I'm just going to do some courses, I'm going to purchase a house, I'm going to save up some money so I've got some money in the account for a rainy day or for when I leave, just in case I want to spend 6 months at home without working, or I do leave and I can't find the career I want, or I get a job and I don't enjoy it, so then I quit that until I find another one. That's the way I can look at it. I've been pretty lucky this time around, but the first time around, if I actually got out, I think I would have fallen on my arse and I've been in big trouble because I just wasn't prepared. I was just in this little bubble of, yeah, the army's amazing, blah blah blah, I'll spend all my money, do this, do that, I'll get out, I'll find a job, I've got this massive experience, you know, with big project managers, I've done leadership roles, I can think on my feet, I'm adaptable, but really I had no experience in anything. I was just like 26 at the time, I think I was. And it was just like going out into this big wide world, and it's like, I've been in the army since I was 16. So yeah, that's all I can say is it's going well for me at the minute. I'm really pleased with how it's going. I will do a full video soon on exactly what's my plan and how I'm transitioning and how I went about that. But yeah, that's how it is for me at the minute. It's good. I feel a lot more prepared this time. We've got a lovely house. I've got a job sorted, like I said, which I'll go into in a future video. So hope you've enjoyed the video. Let us know what you want to see next. If you are, you know, thinking about leaving the army, or you just joined the army and you're worried about leaving the army in the future, don't be worried, but send us a message or an email and we can talk through it. And it shouldn't be a scary process, but it is. That's just the way it is. But just be mentally resilient with it and you'll get through it.